Have you ever felt lost, like everything you once knew has been swept away? Have you ever had to make a choice that would change your entire life, not knowing what the future holds? Today, we're diving into a story about loss, loyalty, and the incredible power of kindness, the story of Ruth. Our story begins in a time of famine. A family from Bethlehem, Elimelech, his wife Naomi and their two sons, Mahlon and Chilion, leave their home to find survival in the foreign land of Moab. At first, things seem to look up. Their sons marry Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth. But then tragedy strikes, not once, but 3 times. Elimelech dies. Then, about 10 years later, both of Naomi's sons also die. Naomi is left a widow in a foreign land with only her 2 daughters-in-law. Can you imagine her despair? She has lost her husband and her sons, her entire support system. Hearing that the famine in her homeland of Judah has ended, Naomi decides to return. She turns to Orpah and Ruth and urges them to go back to their own families. "Go back," she says. "May the Lord show you kindness, as you have shown to my sons and to me." It's a heartbreaking farewell. After much weeping, Orpah kisses Naomi goodbye and returns to her people. But Ruth clings to her. Naomi tries again. "Look, your sister-in-law is going back to her people and her gods. Go back with her." But Ruth's response is one of the most powerful declarations of loyalty ever spoken. She says, "Don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if even death separates you and me." Wow. Ruth chooses to leave everything she knows, her family, her country, her culture, to stay with her mother-in-law, a woman who has nothing left to offer her. She chooses a future of uncertainty and potential hardship out of pure love and commitment. This isn't just about family duty. It's a radical act of faith and devotion. So the 2 women, Naomi and Ruth, travel together to Bethlehem. When they arrive, the whole town is buzzing. "Can this be Naomi?" they ask. But Naomi, full of bitterness from her losses, replies, "Don't call me Naomi," which means pleasant. "Call me Mara," which means bitter, "because the Almighty has made my life very bitter." She left full, but she has returned empty. Now in Bethlehem, it's the beginning of the barley harvest. As a poor widow and a foreigner, Ruth needs to find a way to provide for them. She tells Naomi, "Let me go to the fields and pick up the leftover grain behind anyone in whose eyes I find favor." This practice, called gleaning, was a provision made for the poor in the law. As fate, or perhaps divine guidance, would have it, Ruth ends up in a field belonging to a man named Boaz. He happens to be a wealthy and influential relative of Naomi's late husband, Elimelech. When Boaz arrives at his field, he immediately notices Ruth. He asks his foreman, "Who does that young woman belong to?" The foreman explains she is the Moabite who came back with Naomi and has been working tirelessly all day. Boaz approaches Ruth directly. He doesn't treat her as a poor foreigner. He treats her with incredible kindness. He tells her, "Stay here in my fields. Don't go to any other field. I've told my men not to lay a hand on you. And when you're thirsty, go and get a drink from the water jars my men have filled." Ruth is completely overwhelmed by this unexpected grace. She bows down and asks him, "Why have I found such favor in your eyes that you notice me, a foreigner?" Boaz's reply shows he's not just being kind, he's been watching. He knows her story. He says, "I've been told all about what you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband, how you left your father and mother and your homeland, and came to live with a people you did not know before. May the Lord repay you for what you have done. May you be richly rewarded by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge." He even invites her to eat with his own workers, sharing his bread and wine with her. He instructs his men to purposely pull out some stalks of grain for her to gather, making her work easier and more fruitful. When Ruth returns to Naomi that evening with a huge amount of barley, Naomi is stunned. "Where did you glean today?" she asks. When Ruth tells her it was in the field of a man named Boaz, a spark of hope ignites in Naomi for the first time. She exclaims, "That man is our close relative. He is one of our kinsman redeemers." A kinsman redeemer was a male relative who had the responsibility to help a relative in need. Suddenly, the emptiness Naomi felt is filled with a glimmer of possibility. The story, which began with famine and death, is now turning towards hope and provision, all because of one woman's radical loyalty and another man's extraordinary kindness. What an incredible start to a story. It teaches us that even in our darkest, most Mara moments, acts of kindness and faithfulness can pave the way for a brighter future. Ruth's simple decision to be loyal set in motion a chain of events that would change not only her life, but the course of history. Thanks so much for watching with me today. If this story touched you, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss what happens next in the story of Ruth. See you in the next video.